best thing about this movie was seeing the Monkey Man trailer in theaters.
Little help? Hold on.
Now, before we get too far along, I want to establish something important. And that important thing is twofold. Well, part one is I have no idea what I just watched. And I'm going to try my best to explain everything that I just watched. And then part two is this. This movie is based on a book that just came out by a author named Ellie Conway, which is in the movie played by Bryce Dallas Howard. And by all accounts, I haven't read the book, but I did my research. According to the vast majority, this is like, the book is like book one. And this is A New Hope. This is book 4. Listen, I like Matthew Vaughn as much as the next person. I really do. And I enjoyed this film. I say I enjoyed. There was entertainment value. It was content, as the kids would say today. But holy smokes, I think we might have jumped the gun on this one. So let's get into it. Argylle. It's about a reclusive author who writes espionage novels and a secret agent and a global spy syndicate. And then in real life, she starts realizing the plot of her new book is unfolding right in front of her eyes. And it's mirroring real life, real world events in real time. And if that's not the most Matthew Vaughn like idea I've ever heard, then I don't know what is. And part of that is the Matthew Vaughn of it all. I was so excited about that. I'm a big Matthew Vaughn fan. He's had some misses for sure, but you can always guarantee that Matthew Vaughn is going to swing for the fence. And I'm down with that. I would rather someone just swing for the fence and just miss than make a safe movie. And I can guarantee you Matthew Vaughn will do that. Let's get into it. Matthew Vaughn swung for the fence on this one. And I'm not so sure he hit it that very far. So let's talk about it. So this movie stars Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, a multitude of others. You think it stars this guy, but it really doesn't. But I'll say his name for SEO purposes. Henry Cavill is in the movie Argylle. Not very long though. And I love some of what they do with Henry Cavill in this movie. In fact, I was very interested in the movie that he was in. But the way they try to utilize him in this movie, didn't love it. I know that sounds confusing, and ultimately I'm pretty confused. If you've seen this movie, I imagine you are too. Bryce Dallas Howard, though, fantastic. Sam Rockwell, probably the best thing about this movie. Really, really, really great. I need to watch more Sam Rockwell is what I'm determining after seeing Argylle. I really loved his charisma in this movie. He brought such a fun... I don't know... Please in the comments, let me know if you've seen something with Sam Rockwell like you've seen in this movie. Maybe I'm just not well versed on my Sam Rockwell movies, but I don't know that I've ever seen him do something like this. Really enjoyed him in it though. Like he's so charismatic and fun and just funny. Like the humor he brings to this movie is incredible. And some of it's like unintentional, some of it's intentional, some of it's like physical. It's really great stuff that he brings to the movie. Bryce Dallas Howard is really good. I mean, who didn't expect her to be good in this movie? Like, she's super talented. She does what she needs to do, and she does it well, like point blank. And then Henry Cavill, John Cena, Dua Lipa. I think that's how you say your name. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Samuel Jackson.
An Oscar winner, Ariana DeBose.
Just kind of up here for a paycheck. Obviously, I think they give a decent enough performance as to, like they didn't just, it wasn't just for a paycheck for them, but the movie only required them just to show up on set. Like they're not in this movie very long at all. And then you get to Bryan Cranston and Catherine Hera. I haven't decided how I feel about them yet, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Bryan Cranston and Catherine O'Hara. They're in this movie for sure. They're not just showing up for paychecks. They have things to do. I don't know that I ultimately bought them as fully fleshed characters or found them particularly interesting or any of those things. And it's really disappointing because Bryan Cranston's a phenomenal actor. Catherine O'Hara is really fantastic. And they had a pretty pivotal point, one of the best points in the movie where they're like, wow, that's cool. One of the most interesting points of the movie. And then after that, they just kind of fall flat. And it's really sad because I think that this movie had a lot of potential. I know a lot of people hated the trailer for some reason, never really understood it. Maybe Matthew Vaughn is just not for those people, but Matthew Vaughn's always been a director that anything he was involved in, I was interested in because again, I've already said it. He goes for things. He doesn't just put out the normal run of the mill action movie. Like look at Kingsman, look at the Kingsman, look at Kingsman 2, look at Kick-Ass, look at all of these other films that he's made. Dude is talented. Now, he's going to have a Kingsman 2 in there. Don't get me wrong. Like the guy sometimes gets too muddled in his own stories and just swings for the fences too much and misses. But then sometimes you do get the Kingsman. Sometimes you do get Kick-Ass. Sometimes you do get those movies in which he connects and they connect really well. Sadly, I think Argylle's to the bottom of that list. That's not to say, though, that I did not enjoy or have entertainment value in this movie, because I did. I 100% did. My problem with this movie, I think, ultimately comes down to there's not enough in it for me to recommend, right? I will point blank tell you, and again, we can get intimate again. This movie's bad, 100%. The question becomes, is there enough elements in this movie? Is there enough Matthew Vaughnisms in this movie that you're going to enjoy? And that comes down to a question you have to answer. Ultimately, there's enough in it for me. I don't know that I'm rushing back out to watch this. I don't know that I'm ever going to buy this. If I'm on Apple TV one Saturday and I'm bored out of my freaking mind, I might watch it again, but not excited to. Now, this brings me to the post-credit scene. There is a post-credit scene. If you haven't heard, there is one. If you have heard, then you know. Some people, you either love this idea or you hate this idea. I don't know where I fall on that yet. It is a swing. I will definitely watch the next movie. I don't know what to expect because I don't know what that post-credit scene was at all. So with that being said, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. This is a pretty polarizing film. And if you just don't have any thoughts on the movie, if you haven't seen it yet, just drop an emoji. What's your anticipation level on this movie? It helps the algorithm. I truly appreciate it. Anyhow, subscribe, guys, and I will see you next time. I think we're doing Lisa Frankenstein, so adios.